the bottom part of the lift stretching and then putting the weight back up. That 2 to 3 second negative, a nice stretch and contraction is going to elicit muscle growth that much better. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve, IFBB Pro, Mr. Tell Like It Is. Welcome back to the episode of Straight Talk with Shreve. Guys, we're going to talk about time and attention. Should you train with a slower time and attention or a faster time and attention? And really, it comes from a question that I was asked in the comment section. And it's something I want to talk about to kind of like just get this conversation and put it to rest. Let's get some clarity here. And it said, basically, hey Johnny, I want to know, are you big on time and attention training? But my question is, what do you think of Jay Cutler's style of training for a natty? I noticed for me, I get a bigger pump when I train with a fast range of motion. Also, constant tension way compared to time and attention. And I think people are just really confusing this entire topic when it comes to training, time and attention, or, you know, faster reps, slower reps, or is it right to train as a natty or not? Now, let's get things straight right off the bat. Number one, there is no style of training for natties or enhanced. I hate saying that. I hate having this kind of segregated way of, should I train a certain way because I'm not enhanced? Here's the thing. Being enhanced lets you push the limits more. And that's fine. You can push the limits when you're training as a natural as well. It's just, you're not going to be able to push them that far. Regardless, should you be pushing the limits as a natural or as an enhanced athlete? Yes, but in the confines of it being smart and it actually contributing to your goals. So when it comes to it, it's like training slower or faster is meant for one type of person, the enhanced or the natural. That's not the argument. That shouldn't be the argument at all. What makes the most sense is, and this is what you should be thinking about, is what's the best way to train to elicit muscle growth, regardless if you're natural or not. So when it comes down to it, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with this. Number one, let's understand what time under tension is. Time under tension is the allotted time that your muscles are contracting in some way, shape, or form. So when it comes to range of motion, full range of motion, the time under tension is basically the time it takes you to go from the full range of motion. The time under tension is basically the time of the load during the actual rep and then the full set. So when it comes to time and attention, it's, say, the lowering of the weight, how long that takes to lower the weight, how long it takes you at the bottom, and how long it takes you to go all the way to the top. That would be your full rep, and then 10 to 15 reps in a full set. So when it comes down to it, to understand time and attention, remember, it's how long it takes for you to move a load from the full range of motion. The eccentric contraction, the bottom of the contraction, and the concentric part of the contraction. That's it. That's what time under tension is. Now, the time under tension can change based on the tempo of the time under tension. So the tempo would make up the time under tension. So put it this way. If I did one rep, and that one rep was 1 second down, 1 second up, that will look like this. 1001, 1001. That's one rep. Now, it could be a 2 second negative. 1001, 1002, up. It could be a 3 second negative and a 2 second positive. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1001, 1002. Or it could be a 2 second negative, 1 second pause, and a 2 second positive. 1001, 1002, pause, 1001, 1002. The tempo is going to determine how long it takes you to do that single rep within the entire set. So if I did a 2 second negative with no pause at the bottom and a 1 second positive, that's a 3 second rep. If I did 10 to 15 reps, that's a 30 to 45 second set, which would mean the time under tension would be fairly, controlled. It won't be super slow, it'll be just controlled. Now, what makes the most amount of sense, or what's going to elicit muscle growth. What's the negative? What's the positive? What's the best part of the contraction that's going to make you grow muscle the best? To make it plain and simple. So let's answer the question in terms of how much weight do you have to use in terms of like percentage of your 1 rep max? How long should the negative be? The full time of attention. To make things clear, you can elicit muscle growth anything between around 30 to 85, 90% of your 1 rep max. Here's how things change. Let's just take it from the bottom. If I do 30% of my 1 rep max, yes, I can elicit muscle growth. Now, it's going to be a lot slower because I'm using a weight that's not that challenging, but now the time and attention can elicit muscle growth. If it's long enough that you can progressive overload by some way, shape, or form. Maybe you're doing a drop, probably not a drop set of 30%. Maybe we're doing like a superset, or maybe we're doing rest pause, or a drops, I don't know. Regardless, you have to challenge the muscle in order for it to adapt. So doing something at 30% of your 1 rep max is not going to be as challenging, which might take more time or a longer time for you to build muscle. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Yes, you can elicit muscle growth at 90% of your 1 rep max. The only issue with that is you won't be able to train as often to be able to grow the muscle as fast as you want to. Yes, you can build muscle that way, but you won't be able to train as frequent, so it might take you a longer time to do so because you have to rest a lot longer. Now, and in the middle, if we start moving up and we're looking at like that sweet spot of like 60 to 70% of your 1 rep max, looking more in that hypertrophy range part, that's going to be your best opportunity to build muscle. Number one, the time and attention is going to be a lot slower. So it's going to help you elicit muscle growth, but it's also going to keep you in a place where the risk of injury isn't going to be as great. Obviously, if we go from 30% and higher, the higher you get, the more chances that you can risk getting injured. Getting into those 85 to 90% of 1 rep max, those kind of weights or types of loads can maybe put you at risk of injury. Again, you won't be able to control the weight as much at 90% of your 1 rep max as you would between 30 to 70% of your 1 rep max. Again, the heavier the load, the less you'll be able to train that muscle, the longer it might take you to build more muscle. As to training 30% of 1 rep max, you might be able to train it as frequent, but it's not going to be enough, and it might take a longer time to elicit muscle growth. Remember, in muscle adaptation is basically, the most basic way to put it is putting your muscles in an environment that challenges your muscle to have to change or adapt. If you're not using a weight that's heavy enough, you're not going to elicit muscle growth. It's that simple. You have to put your muscle in an environment for it to have to adapt to a load. It could be adding weight, it could be adding set, slowing down the tempo, doing a jump, whatever it is, it has to be challenged. What will be the best tempo? And what part of the lift or the contraction is going to elicit the most amount of muscle growth? Well, here it is, guys. Anything between a 2 to 3 second negative and then some type of a pause at the stretched or the bottom part of the lift. So when it comes to, let's say, bench, the bottom part of the lift stretching and then putting the weight back up. That 2 to 3 second negative, a nice stretch and contraction is going to elicit muscle growth that much better. Now when it comes to doing, say, pull downs, pulling the weight down, nice full range of motion, and then slowly releasing the weight 2 to 3 seconds, and then a nice pause and stretch, engage stretch at the top is going to elicit muscle growth that much better. Same with the squat, same with the leg extension, same with the hamstring curl, same with the bicep curl, a tricep extension. It's going to be best when you do a 2 to 3 second negative, a great pause at the challenging part of the lift where you're in that stretched part of the contraction, stretching the lift, stretching the muscle under a load, and then a good controlled contraction. When it comes to studies, 2 to 3 second negative, and a nice stretch in that stretch part of the contraction under a load is going to elicit muscle growth that much more. So when it comes to, should I train like this if I'm natural or should I train like this if I'm enhanced? That's not the question to ask. The question to ask is, what is the best way to elicit muscle growth regardless if you're natural or not? Remember, it doesn't matter what you're doing, what you're taking, what color you are, how tall you are. It's how smart you're training, how engaged you are throughout the lift, how focused you are throughout the lift, how much intention you have throughout the lift, and then having a proper strategy to make sure you're doing the right things to make sure you're growing muscle the way you should. Guys, remember, it doesn't matter if you're natural or enhanced. It's how you approach your lift. Being smart with your lifting, having a good range of motion, full range of motion, top to bottom, bottom to top, be engaged the entire time. A 2 to 3 second negative with a great stretch under a load with that contraction, and a great concentric or positive contraction is going to elicit muscle growth the best. And when it comes down to it, studies or no studies, it's how you lift for you. Just be open to taking some tips and applying that to your own style of lifting. Give it a try. And if you find that it's actually working for you, great. If it's find that you don't like it, then go back to what you're doing. What I'm telling you, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you an approach that might be beneficial for you. And being someone who has trained enhanced and who's trained non-enhanced, I've felt the difference. And I'm telling you right now, there is really no difference. The approach and how you train is going to be the difference maker, not the substances you use or not use. And I get it. Yes, if you use enhancements, you will get bigger faster. Doesn't matter. What's important is that you train with attention, 4 range of motion, a great time under tension, 2 to 3 second negative, a nice pause at the bottom or the stretch under load, and a controlled positive contraction, and you will elicit muscle growth. Plain and simple. Pretty easy. Anyway, guys, thought I'd stop by, share with you guys. Give it a try. If you're training faster reps, or a faster time under tension, give it a try. Try it. Just if that's the only thing that you change in your training is making the rep that much slower on the way down, just try that. Let me know how it goes in the comment section below. If you want me to do more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Any questions you have on training, anything it is, ask me and let's chat about it. And regardless of what style of training you decide to do, if you want to make sure you want to grow those muscles the proper way, the best way, make sure you guys grab my ebook, The Final Diet, in the link in the description below. Anyway, guys, for more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, binge watch my videos. And you guys know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing.